Evening. Do not adjust your sets. I'm coming to you from the 1970s. That's right. I've discovered time travel, and as yet we haven't got colour. So here I am in black and white. But more about that later. Um, this is it. Welcome to Mostly Arsenal, where it does exactly what it says on the tin. I speak mostly about Arsenal, but at the moment it's quite a lot about England, and I always talk a little bit about just random shit that's going on in my life as well. I've decided to not even bother trying to stop myself swearing anymore because it just happens kind of organically. So we're just gonna go with it. Before I get into it, so I say if you like this, please hit the like button. If you really like it, feel free to subscribe, and if you really like it, hit the notification bell, and you'll never miss a future video as long as you're keep that bell switched on. All right, so getting into it, I'm gonna talk about England first. I'm getting really excited. I'm really trying not to. Um, I'm like, I think in the last video I said, well, it's not quite coming home. It's being held in quarantine at Heathrow. It's kind of going through customs now, and it's getting really close to me getting ridiculously excited about it all. I'm hoping that an analogy that I'm thinking of is like the Ukraine game could be potentially a white powder that's in my rucksack as I'm going through customs. This actually happened to me when I was coming back from Dublin on a lads' weekend. Wasn't like anything bad, like 2 kilos of coke or anything, but it was on a powder based deodorant, and I think something in there had like popped the lid and it sprayed all over my bag. So I went through customs, I've seen this bag and it's just fucking coated in white powder inside. So obviously we had quite a lengthy conversation about that, and it was a little bit awkward, to be fair. But once I opened the bag and the smell of my, not even links, I don't even know what I was, probably Sure or something like that. It's a long time ago. They were like, yeah, okay, on your way. But like I said, it was a little bit awkward. But anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, coming home. So it could be coming home. But I think if we get past the Ukraine tomorrow, I'm going to be fully into mental coming home mode. It's another semi-final. We cannot lose another semi-final. I don't think I'll be able to cope with that. I think the reason I'm not getting carried away is I've just got to this point so many times, and I've tried to be calm at the start of a tournament, and then we get to the knockout stage, and it's like a snowball effect, like rolling downhill. It gets bigger and bigger and faster, and then I get to that point where I'm like, right, I'm fully invested in this. I'm getting right into it, and then we lose on penalties, or we lose 2-1 at Croatia, and just I don't know as an Arsenal fan if I can take that much more disappointment at the moment. But the heart wants what the heart wants. So anyway, Gareth Southgate. I have been Gareth Southgate's, or one of his biggest critics. I think he's too defensive. I think he doesn't use the attacking midfielders that we've got. I know they're young and relatively inexperienced on the international stage, but I feel like he doesn't use them properly. But then, having said that, we've played 4 games. We've won 3 of them. We've only scored 4, so it's like a goal a game. But we haven't conceded. And to be honest with you, looking at the opposition in front of us tomorrow, they will create chances. They create a lot of chances, but they also gift a lot of chances as well. And I can see us going through tomorrow night, hopefully without conceding again. And that's a really massive achievement, to get to the semi-finals of a major tournament without conceding. I hope I'm right. If we get spanked 5-0, then I look a right mug. But it's almost like me trying to apologise to Gareth Southgate. If ever you get to see this video, mate, I'm a little bit sorry for being so harsh on you. I don't agree with your tactics, but I can't knock you for what you've achieved so far in this tournament. Another person I've been quite critical of is Raheem Sterling. I've put a lot of stuff on Twitter, calling him out for his end product and stuff. A lot of that is a joke. In the first game against Croatia, myself and Lottie from Cannon Chatter, we were back and forth, and we were joking about, like, or we were actually quite angry at the time, saying no end product, no end product, and then bang, straight away he goes and scores. So we decided that we'd keep saying no end product, Raheem Sterling, in the hope that he might score us the winner in the final. You never know. You know, little things like this, little superstitions, they sometimes come to fruition. So I'm going to continue doing that. And anyone sees me calling Raheem Sterling out on social media, I don't actually mean it. His distribution could actually be a lot better. You know, he's I think he's got 65 caps now, so he's an experienced international. But he's still only 26. But then you look at somebody like Kevin De Bruyne, and even though they went out tonight, it's like he always seems to make the right decision when he's got the ball at his feet. And quite often Raheem Sterling will make the wrong decision and hold on to it for too long. And when he did start moving the ball in the right places the other night, you know, that's where our first goal came from. So I don't want to be too harsh on him, and he's literally undroppable at the moment. He's scored 75% of our goals, for crying out loud. You know, keep him in, and he's got I think 15 goals in the last 20 games that he's played. He's scored 17 in total, so he's a massive goal drought before that. But the last 20 games, I think he's got 15 goals. You know, you can't drop him on that form. One thing I did want to mention is there's been quite a lot of stuff floating around on Twitter today, like people calling out other people for cheering on England players that play for other teams, Harry Kane in particular. So I don't see Harry Kane as a Tottenham player when he's playing for England, and I certainly didn't the other night when I was in the pub with my mates and he scored and we all jumped up, and I'm sat there with a Spurs fan, a Liverpool fan and a Man United fan, and we don't watch the games together anymore, like the club games together anymore, because we can't. Because the banter gets a bit too much, and invariably one of us always loses our shit. But this is the one time where we can all come together and we'll support one team, and we totally forget about who's playing for who. And that's how it should be. You can't call people out for cheering on a player from another team, even if it's our most hated rivals. You put Kane in the Spurs shirt, yeah, I can't bear the bloke. But at the end of the day, he's England captain, and he scores a goal for England. You should be cheering. And if this whole thing goes as it should and we end up winning the whole thing, then it brings this nation together, even just for a short time. And I cannot see how that's a bad thing. So anyone that's got a problem with anything I've said there, if you follow me on Twitter and you don't like what I've said, you may as well unfollow. I don't want to row. If you've got different opinions to mine, that's fine. We can talk about it. But, you know, I've seen people being abused over that today, and I don't have time for that. Next, Arsenal. I'm not going to go too much into Arsenal. I mean, there's lots of rumours flying around at the moment. We're probably going to... I mean, Locatelli was the last one I heard. It's like... You read the last paragraph of that statement from Sassuolo, and they're basically calling for Juventus to come and buy Locatelli. So, you know, there's so much talk at the moment. And to be honest, if you want to get a really, really good insight, I say this quite often, but just get into Cannon Chatter on Monday nights, 9 o'clock. Their rumour mill's absolutely brilliant, and all three of them know way more than I do. So, you know, if you want to watch me for random shit and I might occasionally make you laugh, then that's cool. But if you want proper information with some laughs, then just get onto that on Monday nights. The only thing I do want to say is there's been loads of people moaning about us potentially spending 50 million on Ben White. So, I don't know what some people want. For years we've been crying out, like, we need to spend money, we need to, you know, we need to improve this squad, and that's what we're looking at doing. And if Ben White's 50 million, he's 50 million. I don't care. Like my mate G said, it's not my money. You know, as long as they've got plenty of money to spend on other players and strengthening other areas that we also need it, then fair play. But you know, if they're going to do that, got to support them. And the Kroenkes in daft, they know that they've been under the cosh since the failed European Super League thing. They need to get us back on side, and that is the best way that they can do it, is to invest heavily in this squad, support the manager, and hopefully if they do support the manager, he's got a springboard, and I've given him till Christmas to see improvements. I've never been Arteta out. In fact, I've been more Arteta in. I'm more concerned with supporting the manager, because I think it's counterproductive to keep getting on people's cases all the time when we all want the same thing at the end. We want a successful team. So, yeah, you know, 50 million Ben White, if that's what it is, that's what it is. People saying, well, we could get Ramos for a free, or Varane for 35. Ramos is in his 30s. If he's going anywhere, he's going there for a payday. His ceiling is below where he is now. You know, Ben White's ceiling, there's no telling. He's 23. Rafael Varane, he's probably playing at his peak right now. And he's not going to come and play for Arsenal. He's not going to leave Real Madrid to come to a club that has no European football to offer him. So forget about that one as well. That's about all I'm going to say on football. I'm going to go back to time travel, because work-wise, the other day I was going to do this. I started doing this video last night. I'll get to that in a minute. But work-wise, I was on the M25 yesterday morning. I was heading down to Uxbridge, and it was gridlock, as you would expect. But then I thought, this is actually really, really clever, because whoever designed this big round motorway that goes around London, it's a motorway, but it also doubles as a fucking car park. Now, I think that's absolute genius. If you want to stop and you want to get out and, I don't know, have a smoke, drink a coffee, make a phone call, you can do that easily on the M25, especially in the mornings. It's absolutely brilliant. But while I'm on the subject of transport innovations, after I went to Uxbridge, I had the pleasure of going to Hemel Hempstead, and I was driving along this road, and all of a sudden I see this big green sign, and it's got what looks like 6 fucking roundabouts around another roundabout. I thought, well, that can't be true. And as I got closer, I saw it approaching. Then I thought, I remember this. I remember reading about this. It's known as the Magic Roundabout. It was the second one in the country. The first one I think was in Swindon. I'm going to bore the shit, you know, with my knowledge of roundabouts. Its proper name is the Plough. And what it is, it's like I say, it's got these 6 roundabouts which form another big roundabout, but you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise around each of them. And my first question is, what the fuck is that all about? Secondly, who would even think such a thing up? It's just, I mean, what's wrong with you? What were you thinking? And I know I'm going to get called out by people from Hemel Hempstead if they see this, because it's probably one of those things where they think, yeah, it's great, I'm used to it, and I'm sure it is great when you get used to it. When you come from rural Northamptonshire, where electricity is a bit of a bonus, let alone roads and stuff, and the combustion engine, you go somewhere different where there's 6 roundabouts forming another roundabout where you can go pretty much whichever way you want. I don't know what sort of sick, evil, twisted mind would come up with such a thing. But speaking of time travel, funny thing is, as I managed to navigate my way around this roundabout, I found a nice bit of open road, and as I was driving in my DeLorean, I hit 88, flux capacitor kicked in, and it's thrown me back to the 1970s, which is why I'm as I am now. And you know, we haven't got colour yet. But then I started doing this video last night, and then we had a fucking power cut, which is my way of proving that I am actually in the 1970s, because I didn't think power cuts were actually a thing anymore. My mum refuses to vote Labour because of all the power cuts in the 1970s to this day. But the problem I've got now is that I need to get back to 2021 by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. So if anybody knows of anybody from the 1970s who might have had any weapons grade plutonium stored anywhere, or if there's going to be a thunderstorm, please let me know, because I need to stick a rod at the back of my DeLorean so I can hit 88 again and get back for the game, because I'm going out to watch it. Anyway, I've waffled enough. Hopefully we'll get the result tomorrow. I think we will. I'm going 2-0. I think Ukraine will create chances. And I also think that they will give us chances as well, because their defenders are pretty shocking, to be honest. But they are good going forwards. They're good out wide. They create chances going through the middle, and they're not afraid of taking a shot either. So I'm not complacent about it, but I'm going to go for a nice solid 2-0. And I'm going to go for, I think maybe Harry Kane will get the first one. And I think Jack Grealish might get one as well. He probably won't start. I think he might make a substitute appearance. But yeah, I fancy Jack for a goal tomorrow. Anyway, that's it. Had a good evening, whatever you're doing. And good luck for tomorrow. Catch you later. Bye.